Okay, so the idea is that we've recreated this warm, cool method to visually separate these layers that was in the original map. And I'd like to kind of quickly explore a couple of other schemes that the cartographer could have used to visually separate. And I want to start with the idea of a monochrome scheme, so something that doesn't rely on two colors, but just kind of works maybe within grayscale to start with. So to quickly kind of do this, I'm going to first get rid of the scratch image that I was using because I don't need to see this. Basically, because I have this image on the layout already, I no longer need to see it underneath this one. And by removing the redundant image, I'm going to make this layout a little bit smaller. The next thing is that I'm going to create a layer at the top. So I'm going to move this thing to the top and call this my warm, cool map. And I'm going to add my city labels to this. I'm going to add my cities. I'm going to add my flight line. So I'm just clicking and dragging to get that. Type, I want to be careful. I'm actually going to split this into this type, and this I'm going to say is my like title. And so here I'm going to say that I really want to bring in this map that goes with this guy. But I'm going to leave the title and I'm going to leave that first caption over there. And maybe that's confusing to have title hold both of those, but I'm going to say like other type. And so, or layout type. And so I'm not going to bring that over. I'm just going to lock it up. And so now I think I've got, and the type can actually go underneath the coastlines. They don't conflict, but that's just going to help me find it because it's below the map. And so then what I'm going to do is in the same way that we copied something before, I'm going to click on this thing, hold the Option down on a Mac. On a Windows, it'll be Alt. I'm going to make a quick copy of that top map layer. I'm going to lock up the first one, and this one is going to be my like grayscale map. And I'm going to select it, and then I'd like to move it over if I could. And there's that. And then I'd like it to kind of line up, but I keep on losing the box. So once I get it close, I'll do it like that to get it to quickly line over. And it's a little high, so and that's the problem is I lost that. I lost well, I should be able to line up based on this label down here. I forgot that I was using the scratch image as my way to line it up, but this text is going to help me line up this map so that these should now be more or less in a row. So now let's look at ways to quickly change the appearance of the things that are in the grayscale map. I'm going to start with the coastline, which is pretty straightforward because I can just grab that path. I can go over here, and then I'm going to go to my color and just make it black. And if you don't have the black under your color, you can go to your swatches and make it black. But I actually want to make it gray. So let me go back to the color and say, let's make this, rather than black, let's change I'm going to click the hamburger to change the color to grayscale. And then I'm going to say, let's make this, 35% gray, light gray. And that's going to be sitting back like this. And now let's work on, so if that's my background, let's work on the city labels. And so I'm going to start with, Atlanta, click it once, and I'm going to say, remember this guy, I've got the fill and the stroke on it. So if I say select same appearance, all the other ones that have the red fill and the white stroke are going to get selected. So if I just select the fill color and go to black, I've now changed all of the labels, made them from red to black, but I've left the white behind. So then if I grab Tallahassee, which doesn't have that stroke, and say select same appearance, I've now grabbed the three that I took the stroke off of. Like I'm just not looking at it anymore, and I can say go ahead and make those black. So now I quickly changed all of my labels to black, and because black is stronger than gray, I'm still getting that separation. So now let's see if I can change so if that's the city labels, and I've done that, and I've done my coastline, let's look at the flight links. So I'm going to select one of these, select same. They're just strokes, but I can say fill and stroke. And the reason why I'm able to select these without getting anything, mucking up anything over here is that, remember, I have that first warm cool map locked. If I didn't have that lock when I selected the same appearance, I would have grabbed all these labels, but because it's locked, I can't grab them, right? So now I'm going to take those strokes and I'm just going to make them black. And now all we need to do is change the points over. So I'm going to select, so I'm going to lock over the flight and grab the city points. And what I'm going to do here is maybe the trickiest of all. I'm going to start with one city. It'll be that one, which is fine. And actually, I'm going to start with Atlanta because it's there at the top. And I'm going to start with Atlanta, and the first thing I'm going to do is break the link. And that's going to basically say, I don't want you to be a symbol anymore. I just want you to be essentially this ellipse, right, rather than this symbol. And then I'm going to change that ellipse fill to black, right? So now if I go to here, I should have this one black city. And then what I want to do is go to my symbols panel, and I'm going to make a new symbol. And this one is going to be my city point grayscale, meaning just like black. I'm going to make it graphic, static, say OK. And so now I have this black city. So now what I'd like to do is grab all of the other cities, and I can do this kind of, the slow way would be click, hold the shift down, click, click, click. The fast way is to lock this up, know that my other layers are locked, and then go in here and draw a box around here. And the only thing that I'll be able to select are my unlocked symbols. So it's up to you. And then what I want to do is I've got these red symbols selected. I'm going to go to my symbol panel and I'm going to select the black symbol as kind of like, these are the targets, this is the destination that I want. And then if I go to the hamburger and say replace symbol, it should change all of those red dots to the black dots. All right. And so then I can say, well, this map creates, so I have to unlock it to be able to say something about it. And so this is the copy. And so then this map kind of like uses a kind of a monochrome black kind of to gray scheme to visually separate. Something like that. Is that fair? But it's still kind of a readable map, and I still get the visual separation. I'm just using a different method. Rather than the warm cool, I'm using grayscale. Is that all right? So I'm just going to say save, and then I might make one last video if you're interested.